Hi, in this video, I'm gonna go how you can transition from the military into a cybersecurity, IT, or tech job. And stay to the end of the video and I'll be going over some common questions that I get, such as, do I need a cybersecurity degree? Do I need cybersecurity certificates? What if I never land a job in tech? Also, the timestamps are below, so look at them. Now, I got out from the United States Army as a 25 Bravo way back in 2016, and I was terrified. I think my plan at that time was to sleep in my car and get a gym membership and use that as a shower. If that is your plan, please don't do that. But you will be able to get a job, as you do have a lot of skills that you learned in the military beyond your MOS that you can leverage to upskill into the civilian world. If you don't know who I am, I'm Nicole, and this channel is all about helping you change your career into tech. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, the first thing that I would do, and it seems maybe basic, is to prepare your mindset for leaving the military. You may not think it's that important, but the way the military operates is actually very different than how the civilian way operates. In terms of, the military is more of a collective culture and the civilian world is more of an individual culture. And when I say that, I mean you have support in the military and you're all like kind of working for a common goal. If you need help or something, there'll be someone to help you. Whereas in the civilian world, it's like that, just not mandatory like it is in the military. And also when getting out, you may be tempted because they might promote you and you may be like, well, I'm just going to stay in the military. But that's pretty common. If you've decided to get out, I would just get out and not be tempted by any bonuses or any sign-on contract. I remember also when I was getting out, people would say it's a dog-eat-dog world. How are you ever going to get a job? Things of that sort. So you really have to know that you can get a job and prepare yourself for that transition into a new world. It's kind of like a chicken, like a baby chicken hatching in an egg. I'm sure that baby chicken is kind of afraid, you know, but once it hatches, it's out into a whole new world and it's a huge adventure. I don't know if that was a good analogy. I'll probably just cut that out. Another thing is, like, people will spout like there's no easier job than the military. Well, trust me, there is easier jobs in the military that you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. and go run 5 miles or go push an Humvee down this road because some sergeant thought it would be a good idea. The next thing after you have your mindset right, you're leaving, is you really have to figure out what path you want to go into tech. There are so many different pathways you can go. You want to see what you currently have skills in and then see what job you would like and then how you could bridge that gap that you have between those two jobs and see what skills you can get while you're in. But if you don't know the pathway that you're going to go, you don't know what skills you're going to need to be able to get, and you're gonna forever be in this weird stagnant place. But so my channel is all about cybersecurity and IT and cloud, and so I have tons of resources on that if you want to go check it out. Maybe you want to go to the software development route. There are tons of different channels on that. And some really good entry-level IT jobs are help desk, desktop support, a SOC analyst or cybersecurity analyst, a digital forensics, identity access management, cloud administrator. There are an insane amount of jobs, and I do have a video that goes more into different cybersecurity and IT resources for veterans that you can see right here. I'll link it here somewhere. So make sure to go check that out. The next one is to figure out which industry and sector you want to go into. Because you're in the military, it's easiest just to stay within the Department of Defense. And then after you get 1 year of experience, then maybe transition into a different higher paying fields such as the fintech field or the banking industry or healthcare. And because you might already have a security clearance, it might be easiest just to hop into one of those roles, and you may not have to prepare yourself as much as you would if you were hopping into a different industry. But that being said, you don't have to stay within the DoD. Like maybe you can get a local state job, government job. Maybe you want to go work at a college. There is agriculture, construction, there's consulting you can do, there's manufacturing, there's supply chain jobs you could get, entertainment, environmental types of industries. There's an insane amount of industries, and each one of these needs IT and cybersecurity professionals. And also, are you going to stay in the public sector or are you going to go into the private sector? So when you get out, there are two types of jobs within the DoD. There's becoming a civilian, and then there is becoming a DoD contractor. Which one of these just depends on you. DoD civilian comes with a lot more stability, but you get paid less in some cases, and you have to deal with more bureaucracy, where if you're a DoD contractor working for a company such as Boeing or Booz Allen or a big one like that, you tend to just do your job and then you just leave. And a lot of times you will get paid more than Gov. In order to find Gov jobs, you go to usajobs.gov. I think I'll put it right here. And then a good place to find DoD contract jobs is clearancejobs.com. And that lists a lot of high profile DoD contracting jobs along with the requirements needed. So always go look at that. And then also maybe you're sick of the government and you want to work a private job. Private jobs pay way more. There is less bureaucracy. You have to choose which one you want, and really it just depends on what you want to do. Once you have what you want to do, then you can really research what you need to get and what training program you need to do, whether or not you need any certificates. For this video, I'm assuming you're staying within the DoD. So each industry has their own special credentials they need and their own lingo. So you must learn that. For instance, if you wanted to go into healthcare, learning about HIPAA would be really beneficial if you're wanting to go into tech, because it's really important. A really good thing to do if you're staying within the DoD is to get 8570 certified. And this is different certificates that the government deems you have to have if you want to be in this role. So CompTIA Security Plus is a really good one to get. I do have a video on how to study for that here if you want to do any DoD job. If you're going to go into the private sector, it becomes less important. CYSA is a really good certificate if you want to land a SOC analyst role. If you are more advanced and want to go more management level, then the CISSP would be a fantastic certificate to get because it qualifies you for a ton of different jobs that you can't get otherwise. So it is a gatekeeping mechanism, but don't fight against the system. I mean, just get the certificate. It is what it is. The next step is to spruce up your resume and LinkedIn. And I really wish I had done this getting out, but on your LinkedIn, make sure that you get the people in your platoon or brigade and add them on LinkedIn, and then ask them to leave you a review on your work ethic or your technical skills, because it's just kind of like when you go shopping for like something on Amazon, you always look at the reviews, and it really is important. Also, for your resume, there are two types of resumes. The different type of resume depending on what sector you're going to. So for private sector, your resume should be really no more than 2 pages long. And that's also DoD contracting, which technically is private sector, but But if you're going to go to government or state government, then you need a CV. And this is usually 5 to 6 pages long and must detail everything that you have ever done and how it displays that you're qualified for the job. Don't apply to usajobs.gov with your private sector resume because you will get rejected. If you're going through transition services, I'm sure they have resume writers to help you with this. Having a really good resume can qualify you for higher level positions, and you can use it to negotiate higher pay. I have seen someone with less experience, less credentials actually make more money than someone who's more experienced, more credentials, because their resume was so good. Can't underestimate that. Just because your resume gets you a job does not mean it's good. Key point there. Once you have a job offer, always never take the first amount, because that is kind of a low ball, especially if you're going to stay within the DoD. I know a lot of the DoD contractors will try to lowball you by like $30,000, $40,000. And the only way you're ever really going to get a raise is if you change companies. So be warned, always negotiate your pay in the beginning, because it's much harder to do later on once you're in the job. So if they offer you $90,000, you may be like, wow, it's so much money compared to what I was making in the military. just go ahead and try to ask for, say, $130,000. It may seem like a lot, but to them it's not. Some tips to landing a job after you transition is to make sure that your resume reflects skills you learned in the military, but don't use a lot of military lingo because nobody knows what it means. Also, for each job that you're going to apply for, you need a new resume. So if you want to apply for a pen tester, but you're also thinking about becoming a cybersecurity manager, well, you can do that. Just make sure you have two separate resumes that reflect your skills and how you're qualified for that one specific job. You know, in the military, you do everything and you're probably skilled at many different things, but in the private sector, you're only going to have really one role. And so each resume needs to display how you're qualified for that one role. Otherwise, the hiring manager, the ATS, HR is all going to be very confused on what job you're trying to get. And that is not a good thing because when I'm confused, I just kind of blank out. So do you need a cybersecurity degree or IT degree to land a job in tech? No, however, they are helpful and you probably have the post 9/11 bill or GI Bill, so definitely use that. I do have a video that goes more into resources for veterans. Certificates are very useful to land a job in cybersecurity. I would say more useful than a degree in the tech field and industry, simply because a lot of it is for compliance reasons and a lot of contracts need it for compliance within the DoD and also without the DoD. Question that I'm sure you're wondering, what if I never land a job in tech or cybersecurity or IT? And the answer is you're going to. If all else fails and you don't get your cybersecurity analyst job or your cloud security engineer job, then you can go to help desk. Not the most glamorous job, but it is a fantastic starting point, and I do have good resources on how to start help desk, where to start. I will the playlist right here, so go check that out. I will see you next time.